Hello everybody, today we are going to go over the PDH deck for Creeping Trailblazer. I hope you are buckled into your seats because it's going to be a mad one. Not really. It's Elemental Tribal, so this should be pretty cool. Other elementals we control get +1/+0, and you can pay 2 red-green to give it +1/+1 for each elemental we control. So that counts itself. There's like 30 some odd elementals in the deck, and let's just start with the bread and butter creatures. First we got this Arc Runner. It's a 5/1 with haste, and at the beginning of the end step we sacrifice it, but that's okay. Hopefully we get 5 damage in. Then there's Bark Form Harvester. It's obviously an elemental. 2/3 reach, and we can pay 2 to put a card from our graveyard on the bottom of our library. And then we've got lots of land stuff later, so we'll hopefully shuffle stuff through. Bark Weave Crusher, 2/5 with Enlist. Bright Hearth Banneret makes all our elementals cost 1 less, and we can discard it to reinforce something. Catalyst Elemental, we can sacrifice it to add red, so that's kind of fun later. Child of the Volcano, beginning of our end step, if we descended this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Go reference back to the Arc Runner over here, right? It's going to descend, so we'll probably get a +1/+1 counter. Conifer Strider, it's just a 5/1 with hexproof. It's Pauper, so and elementals is not the strongest tribe, so there you go. But Ender Flame Acolyte comes into play. We target creature gets a +2/+0 and gains haste, and then we can evoke it if we'd like. Heartlash Cinder, 1/1 haste. It comes into play and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of red mana symbols and the mana cost of permanents we control. This just comes in. This is pre-devotion, so it'll come in and give us give a +X/+0 for our devotion to red, basically. Healer of the Glade. This is a 1/2 for 1 mana. Enters, gives us 3 mana, which is kind of fun. And Generator Servant can sacrifice it to add 2 to our mana pool, and if it's spent on a creature spell, it gains haste. We got Gaia's Protector, must be blocked this turn, or must be blocked if able. So that's handy. Flamekin Brawler. This has fire breathing as well as Fiery Hellhound. These both are more or less the same. This one's only got it's got 0 power. This one's a 2/2. So those will be fun. Just blow through things. Inner Flame Igniter. This one's fun because you can pay 2 in red, give creatures you control +1/+0. We're gonna hopefully be really kind of aggressive with this deck. Of course, it's Gruul colors, of course. But if it's the 3rd time you've activated that spell, creatures you control gain 1st strike. And again, you can pay that as much as you want and just beef all your creatures. And you can also pay the one on the commander so they'll get bigger. Yeah. Kiln Fiend, my favorite elemental. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it gets +3/+0. And there's not as many. Well, I don't know. It's like almost a third of the deck is instants and sorceries. So this could get big. Lavakin Brawler is fun because when it attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each elemental we control. Similar to the commander, but you just have to attack with it and it gets that. Living Lightning, when it dies, you turn that instant or sorcery from our graveyard to our hand. Molten Ravager, it's another one with fire breathing, so we could just fire breathe all these things if we'd like. Morsel Hoarder is funny, but it's I don't know if it's funny. I don't know why I said funny, but it comes into play with 2 -1/-1 counters on it, and you can remove them to add mana to our mana pool. Pyroceratops, when we cast that non-creature, we put a +1/+1 counter on it. Not bad. Tuk Rubble Fort. This is not an elemental, but it's got Defender and Reach, and creatures we control have haste. Again, we want to be aggressive, and this is one of the only things that does that in Pauper. Thicket Crasher. All our elementals get Trample. And Sunflare Shaman. You can pay 1 in a red, tap it, deals X damage to any target and X damage to itself, where X is the number of elementals in our graveyard. that could be fun later. Possibly game winning. Spark Elemental is really fun. I love this one. Trample and Haste. Look, it's okay. It's been printed as an uncommon, but Spark Elemental. If we look that up, Spark Elemental. Yeah. Let's see. Pauper legal. But yeah, that's kind of fun. Again, another descended card, even though that's just the 1 in the 99. Soulbright Flamekin. You pay 2, target creature gains trample until end of turn. Another handy ability. And if it's the 3rd time this ability has resolved, we add red. That was too many. It's 8 red mana to your mana pool. So you pay 6 and you get 8 back. So, and then you could do it again for Creeping Trailblazer. It's a fun card. Seething Path Blazer. Sacrifice an elemental to give it +2/+0 and first strike till end of turn. That's a desperate attempt, if you will. Scorch Spitter. Whenever it attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. There are no planeswalkers in Pauper currently, so it'll do. Yeah, you get it. Underworld Rage Hound. It escapes, and it attacks these combat if able, and if it escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it. So that's fun. War Mind Infantry Battalion. Whenever it and at least 2 other creatures attacks, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. All right, let's move on to the card draw. This is just there are 7 types of card draw. If you want to watch that, look at my video on the 7 types of card draw. This will kind of go over them. Not all of them are card draw, but watch that video and you'll understand what's going on. Adventure awaits. We can look at the top 5 cards of our library and reveal a creature from among them into our hand. Basically, all the creatures in here are elementals, except for that one. So, our commander cares about elementals, so we're going to want to look for some of those, put it in our hand. But if we can't or didn't, because it's a May ability, we can just draw a card. So that's pretty fun. Bitter Reunion is a rummage effect, so we discard a card to draw 2, and then we can sacrifice it to give our creatures haste. Elven Farsight scries 3, and if we reveal the top card of our library, if it's a creature, we'll draw that card. Again, get those elementals into hand. Explore, play an additional land, draw a card. Introduction to Prophecy, I think, is very underrated. Scry 2 and draw a card, and it goes in any deck. I love this card. Reckless Impulse and Ren's Resolve, these 2 are exactly the same. Same mana cost, same effect, same sorcery speed, whatever. So it's exile 2 from the top, and you can play them till your next turn. Extraordinarily handy. Scale the Heights is basically a 1 extra mana explore, but it puts a +1/+1 counter on a creature and gains a life. That's the only difference between these 2 and the mana cost. Track Down, scries 3, then reveal the top card of our library. As a creature, we draw a card, just like Elven Farsight. I just realized those are basically the same, but this one costs 1 more. Oh, this one's a creature or a land. Hey, look at that. So that'll get us a land if we need. Ren's Resolve we talked about. Yavimaya Elder. When it dies, we can search for up to 2 basic lands into our hand, and we can sacrifice it to draw a card. Plus, oh, I thought it was an elemental, but he's not. He looks like an elemental because he's got a crazy headdress. All right, we got 1 flex spot, and that's just Siege Smash. You can destroy an artifact or give a creature +3/+2 and trample till end of turn. And that's it. And it's got split second. That's very powerful. For our lands here, we've got just some basics, or some basic things. Just forests and different stuffs, you know. The mountain forests are important. We'll get to that in a second, because we might be able to search for them. Wink, wink. Mass removal. This is as much mass removal as you can have in Pauper. Blazing Volley does 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. That's just, yeah. It's Pauper Commander, so there's probably going to be a lot of 1/1s, and we can sweep the whole board just to make it through. Ramp, here we go. That's Chandra's Ember Cat. You can tap it for red, but only to cast elementals and Chandra spells. Cultivate, of course, search for the basics. Fertilid, it's an elemental, and we can remove counters to search for basic lands. Greening Ignis, we play it, but then we can return it to our hand to add 3 mana to our mana pool. So I guess maybe it's not technically ramp, but later on we can use it and do all sorts of stuff with it. Harrow, sack a land to go get 2 lands. Kodama's Reach is the same as Cultivate. Leafkin Druid, it's a mana dork that adds 2. That's green if we control former creatures, and hopefully we will. Smoke Breeder, again, another one, adds 2 mana in any combination of colors, only to cast elemental spells or activate their abilities. This is very, very important in the deck. Silverglade Elemental, when it comes into play, we search for a forest into play. So this one will search for those dual lands. You wouldn't think that would be possible in Pauper, but it is. Well, I guess there's lots of other stuff that can do it. Whatever. There's not many, let's just say that. And it's an elemental, so. Rampant Growth, search for basic. Nissa's Pilgrimage, search for 2 basic forests. But if there's lots of, then it's got Spell Mastery, and we can search for up to 3 basics instead if we've got that. Nature's Lore, I spoke too soon. The search for a forest, Nature's Lore searches for a forest. You get it. Targeted removal, we've got a Braid. I suppose this might be a flex spot, but it's dealing 3 damage to target creature or destroying an artifact, so it's basically targeted removal. Atrax's Fall, I like this one because you can destroy artifacts, enchantments, battles, or a creature with flying, which might be important because some creatures are probably bigger than 3. So that's somewhat important, especially with something that doesn't have flying or reach, really. Bite Down, I like. Deals damage equal to its power to creature or planeswalker we don't control, and it's an instant speed, so I like that. Broken Bond, it's destroy an artifact or enchantment, and we can put our land from our hand on the battlefield. Untapped, by the way. Hull Breach, we can choose one of these ones. We can destroy an artifact, we can destroy an enchantment, or we can destroy an artifact and enchantment. One of those 3. You have to pick one. It's a weird, interesting card, but you probably pick the both. I don't know, whatever. It's a good card. Ingot Chewer, another elemental. When it enters, we destroy an artifact, and it's got Evoke. Lightning Bolt, just do 3 damage to stuff. Again, this is Pauper, so things are probably pretty small. This could be pretty good. Spite Bellows, that's our other elemental. It evokes to deal 6 damage to target creature, and that's pretty fun. And then Nature's Claim destroys an artifact or enchantment, and its controller gains 4 life, but it's instant speed, so that's pretty good. Whoa! Alright, that's the deck. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Make sure you check out the TCGplayer affiliate link if you'd like to purchase these, and make sure you like and subscribe, and check out the Milkman proxies. Did I say that one already? There's TCGplayer and Milkman proxies. I've got affiliate links for both of those, so check those out. And then, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and make sure you join me next week for your weekly dose of magic.